Should you be pulling for Hysilens or should you be skipping her for version 3.6? That's what we're here to talk about in today's video, guys. Going over all of her pros, her cons, and the future value she might hold for your account. Also going over what team combinations she works for and everything like that. So if you guys want to know if you should be pulling her or not, stick around for today's video. Maybe hit that subscribe button if you like videos like this. And now let's go ahead and hop into the video here. Don't worry about that. That's our next video we're going to talk about. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see Hysilens versus every single character for version 3.5. Anyways, gamers, let's go ahead and hop into her pros first. At number 1 here, guys, she is quite literally the reviver of DOT. If she was not in the game, DOT would still be dead. Now, let's be so real here. We don't know how long this revival will last. We know how much the Hoyo devs love DOT, so she brought it back to life for now. Anyways, okay, guys? So let's go ahead and just kind of look at what she does and kind of describe why she is bringing Dot back and kind of give you guys some insight to this. First of all, guys, one of the main draws, I think, from her kit is her ability to actually re-proc dots on the enemy. As you can see right here, guys, whenever she uses her ultimate move, any target afflicted with dot, it will basically be re-procking them whenever she uses her ultimate. Then she's also able to put dots on the enemy whenever your allies attack as well. So she just can do it all in terms of the dot sense. But not only that, guys, she is also going to be kind of like a sub-supporter on the team because she's going to be lowering enemies attack percentage, lowering enemies defense percentage, and also she is going to be putting a vulnerability debuff on the enemy as well. So the best comparison I can make for her, guys, is quite literally Gwenaifen. Gwenaifen literally does almost everything that she does, barring like the defense and attack down, but Gwenaifen has a vulnerability debuff. Gwenaifen also reprocs dot or fire dot on the enemy whenever using ultimate move, and then she's also just able to hit a lot of debuffs in general. So I mean, like, Gwenaifen's a jack of all trades, and I feel like Hysilens is the exact same way, and I feel like that is what you need to be the reviver of dot. Not only do you need to be able to put strong dots on the enemy, you also need to be able to reproc those dots as well and front load the damage, because that is probably the biggest problem with DOT right now, is not being able to front load enough damage and do enough damage up front. You're waiting for enemies to actually move, which will do less damage over time. Now let's move on to the second pro here, guys. Amazing team options. When I say amazing, she has some of the most team options in the game because of how she works. She's a jack of all trades, guys. So let's go ahead and talk about all of her team options right now. And quickly going over how I have this list set out is we have green for amazing, orange or yellow for works, and black for doesn't really recommend. So as you can see from this list right here, she has a lot of people she just overall works with, and she has a decent amount of options that she works really good with. Like Acheron per se, right? She provides a lot of debuffs for Acheron. She's also acting as a sub DPS on this team. She can also work in dot Acheron teams now if you have Kafka on the team that's able to reproc dots. And on top of reprocking dots, she's able to provide a pretty decent attack buff to both Hysilens, Kafka herself, and Acheron if you have her built that way, though I don't really recommend building her that way with effect hit rate. But overall, this team does provide a lot of supportive options for someone like Acheron because you're able to put a lot of debuffs on the enemy from someone like Hysilens, right? Then you're getting sub DPS levels of damage from both of these characters here. And then overall, you're just having a great time here. After we talk about other teams, full dot teams, right? Obviously works the best because she's a dot character, right? So we take someone like Kafka, you run Black Swan here, then you run Hysilens here as well. Obviously, all three of these characters are going to be working. If you want to see more of her teams and me go into more depth of why teams work, I have a full video on that up on the channel already, so go watch that if you want to see something like that. But then other options she can also work on, guys. Like I said, she's kind of a jack of all trades, so she can kind of work on teams that need a lot of debuffs, like Dr. Ratio, right? So obviously she puts a lot of debuffs and can have a lot of debuffs on the enemy. Dr. Ratio works there. Someone like Don Hung, oh my god, like she's SP positive. She gives herself SP back every single time you use an ultimate move, so works really well there too. She just works with a lot of other support characters in the game too, because she does provide a plethora of debuffs, that being attack down, also defense down, and also vulnerability as well. So she kind of works in tandem with a lot of these teams. Not saying that she's the best in slot for these teams, but is definitely an option that can be used on a lot of these teams. And then some of the other dot characters, see Luca, reprocs bleed dot, which can reproc her dot, really good. Campo here, reprocs wind shear. She has the chance to put wind shear down. He has wind shear to put down. You can increase the dot the enemies are taking there, so he also can work on the team with her. There are just so many different options in the game that actually can work with her, and I think that makes the most amazing team options, and honestly makes her really good for free-to-play players' accounts that really want to stretch the value of their characters out, even when they're not the best in slot. Next up, guys, we kind of already touched on this point, but great debuff variety and consistency, meaning she's able to very consistently get these debuffs up, because you have to think, guys, not only is she able to provide, you know, all the debuffs we just mentioned, like vulnerability, defense down, attack down, she's also enabling the whole team to apply dots to the enemy as well. So like very, very consistent dot uptime, also very consistent debuff uptime, and consistency of debuff procs, which makes her really good for someone like Acheron, like I mentioned before, or really any other debuff scalers that we'll get in the future, right? Next up on this list, guys, she's a sub DPS through and through. I think we can see this from her kit already. Like, while I think she could be used as the main DPS, I see her mainly being used as a sub DPS. Like I said, she provides a lot of support. She provides a lot of different debuffs. And then on top of everything else supportively she's giving to the team, she's also able to reproc dots, which she's enabling every ally in your team to give, so you're not fully relying just on her dots. Like, well, I guess you are technically relying on her stats and her dots because it is her dots you're putting on. Anyways, guys, your allies are putting more dots on the enemies, which that's more dots for her to reproc. It's not like she's just putting, you know, one singular dot on the enemy for every one of your allies. She has the ability to put this dot, and then, you know, this dot right here on the enemy as well. She has the chance to put all these dots on the enemy, and then all these have a chance to reproc. Instead of just being only able to reproc her one physical dot, she can reproc all of them. So really good there, really good sub DPS. Couldn't really ask for more in that field. Maybe you could ask for a little bit more. And hey, her fucking sub DPS damage is pretty good in my opinion. Now on to our final point, guys. Easy and free to play build. My god, she has some of the easiest builds in the game, guys. Literally the only thing you're really trying to reach is at least 120 effect hit rate. You want to get her some attack? That is really about it. Genuinely, do you really even need speed on her? Not necessarily, maybe 134 if you wanted to push it, but outside of that though, guys, she already offers herself so much in terms of stats, because you have to think, if you're running around a team with Kafka, over 75% effect hit rate, she's getting 100% attack for free. On top of this as well, guys, if you get her to 120 effect hit rate, you're giving her an extra 90% damage for absolutely free. So she's giving herself a lot of stats and a lot of damage bonuses off of what she already has, and effect hit rate's not the hardest thing in the world to get, especially if you have something like Eyes of Prey Light Cone. There's no new like 4-piece dot set that's been added to the game, so if you have like dot characters on your account built already, then you can just kind of steal bits and pieces from those characters and put them on her, and then she works completely fine with that. She's giving herself 14 speed for absolutely free, so that makes that 134 margin so much easier to hit. And just look at the amount of light cone options that you have. A lot of these are free to play options or gacha light cones that you probably already have on your account already. Eyes of Prey, like we mentioned, Good Night Sleep Well, gacha light cone. But you also have things like solitary healing, which, okay, increases break effect, sure, but also is going to be increasing the dodge you're dealing to the enemy and giving energy back. If you want to supercharge her ultimate move, you could technically put on before the tutorial mission starts and give her some free effect hit rate. Like, she just has a lot of different free options that are available to her, and that just makes her super, super solid if you're a free-to-play player. Now let's hop into the cons, the icky wiki reasons and why you might not want to summon for her, right? And these are very heavily going to play on the pros we just mentioned, guys. First of all, guys, Master of None. Yeah, guys, I know we mentioned up here, she's like the reviver of dot. She has great debuff consistency and variety. Her debuffs are kind of low. Like, if we're talking like in terms of like who else we have in the game that provides debuffs, right? Let's talk defense shred, right? 25% defense shred. Okay. You know who else provides a lot higher defense shred? Silver Wolf and Pela provide a lot higher defense shred. Attack down, that's great, but do we really give a shit about attack down? I mean, personally, I think in most teams, I don't worry about the enemy's attack at all. I'm more worried about the HP inflation of the enemy. So, I mean, like, that's an extra debuff. Sure, cool. It brings damage down they're dealing to me. Okay, cool. But overall, not the best thing in the world. Also, guys, from her skill, 20% vulnerability on the enemy. Okay, like, Zhao Cho does that a lot better. Hell, even someone like Cypher does that a lot better. So, yes, while she does provide a lot and she does do a lot, she's a master of none. Her dot damage is not the highest thing in the world. Really, outside of her patch, you're not running her as a main DPS. So, like, she does do a lot of things, and she does them good, but she's not the best at anything, and she doesn't do like a super high amount of anything. She just does a lot, right? The best way I can describe it is if you have a plate of food here, and you're getting like a lot of like small pieces. Oh, you get a little small steak here, then you get a little small mashed potato here, then you get some green beans here, and then you got some chips over here, and then maybe a salad over here. That's how she is. A lot of other characters are like, yo, you got the steak right here, and then we gave you the french fries right here. Bang, bang. That didn't look right. Fuck me. Fuck. Okay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to con number 2 now, which is not the best in slot as a debuffer for every team. Yes, guys, I think we mentioned this in the team section earlier. Like, yes, she works out great when you're running with, like, Acheron. I still don't think she's best in slot buffer there, but she can be really good there, especially if you're running on a Dotcaron team. But outside of Dotcaron teams, not the best in slot there by any means. I think Zhao Cho's better here. I think Cypher's better here. I think there's a lot of other options that are technically better for Acheron here, right? Maybe is the second best in slot debuffer, and then a lot of these other DPS, right? She can work as a debuffer for all these teams. She's not first best in slot or second best in slot in a lot of these teams. Sometimes she's third best in slot, sometimes she's second. Like, she's not the best for every team. So if you're trying to pull her for like a team that's not a dot based team, how much value are you really getting there other than just using her on a team as a placeholder while you wait till the best in slot character for that team comes back around. Next, guys, debuffs are not the best in the world. We already mentioned this earlier, but yeah, debuffs, like, we talked about the numbers there. They're not really that high, right? Number 4, guys, sub DPS damage drops dramatically when not on the dot team. Yeah, guys, like, you're really, like, she does do some damage on her own. Don't get me wrong. She enables the team to do dot, but you're really relying on people like Black Swan, people like Kafka to be putting more dots on enemies, and really you're wanting more dots to be put on the enemy so she can reproc more dots on the enemies. So, like, that's, like, her whole kind of shtick, right? So, when she's on a dot team, her damage does drop quite significantly, and that also plays back into Master of None as well, right? And then finally, she is dot. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we know how Hoyoverse treats dot characters. I want to say more of that for the end of the video, though, when I tell you whether you should be pulling or not. But you can't end the video off with just pros and cons, right? We need to talk about what her future value is. Starting off at number 1, guys. Bro, dot's cooked. So this is the great chart of dot right here, guys. So we go from great to ass to even more ass to even more ass to, oh, we're getting better. Now we're back to great again. And then the cycle continues. So we have patch 1, patch 2, patch 3, patch 4. Honestly, this is probably a lot more extended. Okay, guys, I feel like this is a much better representation of how it goes, right? So our great period is right here. The ass period is all that right there. So yeah, but I think dot's cooked, but hey, maybe not. Maybe they're going to put more investment on it. Surely they are, right? Surely, right? Number 2, guys, will provide great utility for what will come. Like, she does provide some defense now. Like, she does provide sub DPS. She does provide SP. She provides a lot of different things. Jack of all trades. Great utility for a lot of different teams. Maybe not the best, but great utility nonetheless. Number 3, guys, future dots will thrive if we get them. Like I mentioned before, if we can integrate some more greatness in these big struts of ass, I think dot's going to be completely fine, but I really don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. And then got the mommy March and Daniel is coming, guys. Come on, guys. Let's be so real here. March and Daniel, we already know they're going to be cracked. There's no shot they don't make those 2 characters cracked and make last a long time. Surely they do, right? Honestly, guys, I feel like those characters are setting up for version 4.0. Hell, I hope to God Hysilens here sets up for version 4.0. I hope to God we see more dots coming out in the future. I just don't know if that'll be the case, unfortunately, guys. So that leads me to the final point of our video, guys. Should you be summing for Hysilens? But wait, pause, stop right there, guys. Before we talk about should you be pulling for this character, hit that subscribe button right now. Scam, scam, scam. We are losing subscribers by the week, guys. I am begging, I am pleading. I will get on my hands and knees and do something for you. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Let's get back to why you should or should not be pulling for this character. Genuinely no, because I know we're gonna have some dot people in the comment section like, oh, you should definitely pull. Guys, I'm a dot head. I love dot. I will pull this character. I am pulling this character. I don't recommend it for you. I have been through the trials and tribulations of how ass dot is and the lack of support that dot gets. Don't cook yourself. I feel like Break or Super Break has gotten more value and support than dot has. So guys, that's my genuine opinion. Do not pull for this character unless you have an account full of dots and you truly love the dot archetype. Because, I mean, if they do end up doing something with dot in the future, realistically, Kafka is the pillar for that team anyways. I don't think she is. Like, she provides a lot of debuffs for sure, yeah, but you can, like, okay, put Black Swan there and it still works kind of efficiently. But to me, Kafka is still the foundation of a dot team. So if you're going to pull any character, pull for Kafka if you want to go for dot. I think that she kind of sets up dot as a whole, and then you build from Kafka and go from there. And then when they finally release a character that can do more reprocs than Kafka can, or maybe by that time they'll have someone better than her. I don't fucking know. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. What do you think? Are you pulling for Hysilens or are you not? Are you saving for version 3.6 and beyond? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and that's going to do it, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.